Hey guys, this is Leo coming in with an update. A viewer had requested me to do a chart on Playboy, and then someone else had requested me to do a chart on CLOV. So that's what we're going to be taking a look at here. So it seems the impulsive wave up. It's very obvious. Now, keep in mind, I know absolutely nothing about this company. I don't know how any of the fundamentals, how their business is doing, or anything like that. All I'm looking at here is the chart. So what I see is we have a 1, 2, right? Then we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 for the third wave. We get some sort of an ABC into the 4, and we get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for an ending diagonal. And what you'll notice here, the reason this is the telltale sign that it's an ending diagonal is that the waves, each preceding wave is shorter than the previous. So if we come up here, we measure, why is that not, hang on. Okay, so if we come in here, we measure out the legs, there's your 100%, right? So the third wave is shorter in relation to your first. So then what you would want to see is the fifth wave being shorter than the third, which obviously it is. You can see that on the chart. So that's a telltale, well, that's how you validate it. The next thing you want to see is a subdivision should be 3, 3, 3. So if you come in here and you see ABC, right? So then we come down some sort of an ABC here, we get an ABC, ABC, ABC. So that's the subdivision within the ending diagonal that you would be looking for. And then here, as far as the correction goes, this looks it looks very corrective to an extent. This looks like you have some sort of a leading diagonal here or possibly an ending diagonal going in for an A wave. You get some sort of a sideways correction here for either a B or a 2 wave coming down. Now, it's tricky because I don't have an underlying bias with this company. I don't know anything about them. I don't know anything about their financials. And whenever I'm charting a company, that typically the way that I trade is I look for companies that I believe in. I look for companies that I believe have future growth potential. And then I look at an Elliott wave count. I look at the algorithms that these computers trade to kind of get an idea for good entries, if that makes sense. That way I don't just go out and pick a random company that may or may not be doing good. So let's say, for example, that this company, they're doing some sort of new streaming service that's going to be very popular, and they're going to increase their revenues, and they have a very bright future ahead. If I see that, right, and then I come in here with an Elliott wave count, and I see a very clean, I mean, this is no doubt a very clean impulsive structure up, which would mean, it would imply that we're putting in some sort of a correction here, and that this entire wave, this entire 5-wave structure is a 1, 2, right? So let's go ahead and bump this up to, there you go. And so then if you want to look at higher targets, you would come in and, so I'm just putting this off to the right so that's easier to see. It's not so cluttered. So we're going to measure from the low, going to measure to the high, and then we're going to come down. Let's just say that it goes to 618 because it's the most likely retracement for a second wave. Well, we know that our next most likely retracement for a third wave would be the 1618, right? So we're going to come up here, and so that's what you'd be targeting. Actually, let me see something here since this goes back. So this is actually, they've just recently IPO'd, so there's not much history here. What does that do to us? Yeah, so I like that better. That's a lot more reasonable there. So let's see, we had a high here. Okay, so your next third wave target would be around $100. So you'd see something like that going into the future. You also have the computer algorithms here are going to be targeting the -236, which is at $97. So you can have a little bit of a confluent zone there. Go ahead and draw that on out. There you go. So your third wave target's going to be somewhere between 105 to 97, call it $97. All right. Not a whole lot to talk about there, so I'm going to go ahead and jump over to CLOV, which I've heard people talk about it. I know next to nothing about the company. Same with PLBY. Okay. Okay. Mm, I'm not gonna lie, that's an ugly chart. There's not much going on there. Wow. I, there's just not much to work with. You don't have. I mean, you get this wave down, then you get some sort of sideways correction, then you get a big run up, and then it just crashes back down. I mean, this looks like a pump and dump almost. Because I mean, so let's look at the Fibonacci retracement level here. Just start from the absolute low, run it to the high. I mean, you've gone past the. I mean, you've gone past the 887, which is, I mean, that's a very steep dump. Um, on the bright side, if you buy, or if I were to buy around here, uh, you're buying at the lows. You have a low on the volume profile. There's not much price acceptance below here. That's why you can see here how volume just drops off. You can see how it's just support, support, support. So if it's a good company and there's good fundamentals behind it, something that could grow long term, um, I might be looking to buy here. Just very, very small portion of my portfolio, maybe 0.5% or less. Not much at all. This is just a really ugly chart. There's no impulsive moves here. I mean, let's see. I'm gonna try to get something out of this. Let's see. You got 1, 2, 3, ABC. I guess you could possibly have some sort of leading diagonal here. Let's measure this out. So I'm measuring if this is an ABC, and you get some sort of an ABC down for a 1, 2 of an ending diagonal, the third wave would need to be less than 100%. So this would be the only possible third wave. So then, yeah, it's not a leading diagonal. It just doesn't qualify. Um, there's just not much here to work with as far as an Elliott wave count goes. It's extremely choppy. I mean, effectively, it's a big range that they've been trading in. Until this company gets some sort of traction, it becomes very difficult to identify any sort of Elliott wave count. But I mean, I wish there was some more that I could do. But I mean, if you jump over to other assets, you can see the difference in how the waves unfold and how there's more computer action going on within them. Or, you can jump over here to Bitcoin, for example, drop down to the 15-minute chart is something that I'm working on, trying to figure out where we are. So I have a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the third of the micro degree. You get a flat for an ABC with an ending diagonal for the C wave. You get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third of this degree. So it goes 1, 2, 3. Then we get another flat correction for a 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that would be overall a first wave, and then we'd be looking for it to come down for a second wave. But you go back to CLOV, I mean, there's just not much to work with. It's just very sloppy, very sideways. So, I mean, if you're looking to get into this company as a long-term potential, you're at the lows. So, I mean, there's that. But other than that, there's really not too much to go off of. We can look and see if there's any computer algorithms that are popping in here to trade. I mean, it's just a straight drop, though. I mean, there's just not much to work with. Apologize. The only real technical analysis you can do on charts like this, whenever you're in a range, and this goes for whether you're trading futures markets or any type of market, is to, you buy the lows, you sell the highs. That's essentially how you trade a range. But there's no trend here. There's no, at least in the chart, it's not showing us yet what it could be doing. It could be that we're putting in something. It's just it's so early on, and let's see, how old is this asset? Okay, it goes back. So they launched not too long ago. So it's just too early to do to get any kind of count out of this. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've got for that asset. I do apologize. There's just not much to work with. It's very sloppy, very sidewaysy, pump and dumpy looking. I mean, I mean, you go straight up, straight down. That's typical if you see. Yeah, I mean, there's just not much here. Sorry. um, so I think that's pretty much all I've got for this video. Go ahead and give a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and talk to y'all later.